We seen the judge revoke YSL Mounk Tounk, Antonio Sledge probation today in court. Now, here's where Antonio Sledge went wrong. Back in December, him and other YSL defendants agreed to a plea deal. Now, I'm not understanding why Antonio Sledge's lawyer didn't sit him down and tell him, look at here, man, you know you signed this plea deal, and here's what's in the plea deal. You gotta, if you're called to testify, if they ask you these questions, you gotta testify according to this plea agreement. Now, if you don't, they could revoke your plea agreement, and you can go, and you have to go back and serve your remainder of your time on your probation. Now, that if they call you to testify, and most likely they will. So just be aware that everything you said in the past is gonna come out in court. All your interrogation footage from way back in 2015 on up, all your jail phone calls, everything gonna come into play if you take this plea agreement. And that's what Antonio Sledge lawyer should have told him from the jump start. And I couldn't believe what I seen after knowing that Mounk Tounk pleaded out back in December. And here's the video of Mounk Tounk pleading out in December.
A seventh defendant in the YSL RICO indictment is getting ready to head home tonight from jail after striking a deal with prosecutors. Channel 2's Michael Seiden live outside the Fulton County Courthouse, where this defendant entered a negotiated guilty plea just days before jury selection begins. Michael?
And George, we were inside the courtroom. In fact, we brought you this as breaking news on Channel 2 Action News at 4. But let me just tell you right now, this defendant, he is the seventh defendant to enter into a guilty plea, a negotiation, but he also had to admit as part of his negotiation and his plea that he is a member of the alleged criminal street gang YSL. 41.
So he had to admit that he's part of a street gang called YSL. Now that was the plea bargain. So every defendant that took the plea deal has to take the stand, if called, and testify that YSL is a street gang. And if they testify that, then everybody that's on trial is going to jail. And see, Mounk Tounk know that. So Mounk Tounk, I think, decided that he was gonna stay solid and not tell on Young Thug and other guys, and say YSL is a street gang, and just go to jail, because it's obvious he had to know that he signed a plea agreement. We all just watched it. That was back in December, and they made it known to him if he was called to testify, he would have to testify everything that he signed off on that paper, which was stated. And so Mounk Tounk knew, and I'm sure his lawyer informed him that. And I'm just thinking that he just decided to stay solid and not testify. And another thing that I'm saying in this Young Thug case that is hurting the case is the jail phone calls. Jail phone calls and people snitching from way back in 2015. A lot of people got arrested over and over and over, and was running their mouth to gang units over the years. It seemed like every time someone got arrested, they would tell a little bit to get their time lesson, and they'd get out. And that went on for years. and what they didn't think and what they didn't know, uh, then suspect a RICO when everything come back to hunt you. All the things you done told for years, when you put on the stand, because you got that plea bargain, when you put on the stand, they're going to play all your interrogation tapes, all your interrogation footage of you snitching and telling on other gang members, because we all know all gang members don't get along, and when they get locked up, they might snitch on a gang member that they don't like. But during a RICO, it hurts when you do that, because if you say a gang member that associated with the same gang that you're associated with is a gang member, then you're admitting that is a gang. And then we got these jail phone calls of people of Shannon, Stillwell, and others, Lil Woody, Lil D, all talking to their girlfriend, saying somebody snitching. You by saying someone snitching on you, you saying that you are guilty, because if you were innocent, you'll say they lying on you. So all these jail phone calls of years of phone calls from talking to friends, girlfriends, or whoever, all of them is coming back into play. All the interrogation tapes. So ain't no telling what a lot of these defendants has said other than Lil Woody. And that's why a lot of them probably gonna do the same thing that Mounk Tounk did. Because but even if they did, all the defense gonna do, the prosecution gonna, not defense, but the prosecution gonna do, if they don't talk, they just gonna play your interrogation tape and make you look bad on the stand. So either way it goes, I mean, you really can't win once you sign that plea bargain. And just hopefully they just tell the truth and own up, take full responsibility, go down the same, or take the same road that Mounk Tounk did. Stand solid. Because I believe that a lot of this stuff they just did on their own, not on behalf of a gang, but independently. Because in Atlanta, most gangs are not like the West Coast gangs. They're not organized like that. A lot of people are more do stuff independently with their homeboys, whoever they close with in the gang, to who they roll with and do their dirt with. So a lot of this stuff I don't even think Young Thug had nothing to do with. Well, because of him being a celebrity and being the face of it, you know, everything is blamed on Young Thug. But yeah, Mounk Tounk messed himself up when he pleaded. He actually pleaded guilty when he took this plea bargain, and he really gave up his rights. So ain't no pleading the fifth, and you basically have to tell, or else you're going back to jail. And now these other defendants, I know they're on pins and needles, because if they don't talk, then prosecution is still gonna make you look bad on the stand, because most of them has talked in the past, and everything they have said, all they phone calls or them talking bad about other gang members or what have you, so this whole situation is just messed up. And yeah, it's gonna get real ugly now when the other defendants take the stand, because now they know you can't dance around these questions, and you have to answer these questions, or else you going to prison. So I keep y'all updated on any more updates in the Young Thug YSL trial. Please subscribe, hit that like button. See you soon.